Hi, my name is Christy and I want to tell you about 3 defining moments in my life. The first one is that I grew up in Ireland, and in the early 80s I was involved with gangs and with different people, and I got myself into a lot of trouble with the police and with the court system. When I was 19, a lady came up to me and she said to me that Jesus loves you and has a plan for your life, and I was absolutely gripped that Jesus loved me. I have some understanding of religion as a Roman Catholic, but I never knew that Jesus loved me. I began to look at the Bible, and the defining moment was that I realized it was a miracle that I had survived till I was 19. Because when I looked around, many of my friends and people who I grew up with were either dead because of drug taking, or were addicted to drugs, or were heading to prison. I had a decision to make, and I knew I needed to get out of that life. But that's not an easy thing to do. You can't just turn over and turn a new leaf. But something happened. As I began to read the Bible, I knew that the strength and the motivation I needed to change my life was found in the pages of the Bible. I began to read about the life of Jesus. I began to read about his love for me, and I began to understand that if I didn't live the way I wanted to live, I could live the way that God intended me to live. And one night in a non-religious setting, I prayed a prayer that was a defining moment in my life. I made a commitment to God. I told God that I would live for him and I would follow him all the days of my life. That was the second defining moment. A couple of years later, I ended up getting involved in a church, and a couple of years after that, I began to train as a pastor, a Christian minister. I'm also a trained police chaplain. I got involved in humanitarian aid and relief work around the world. And there was a total transformation in my life, which I give God the praise and I give God the glory for. But then 18 years ago, the third defining moment in my life was I had a subarachnoid brain hemorrhage. Within a couple of hours, I had a surgeon at the end of my bed telling me that my life was going to come to an end. And if I survived by any miracle, I would be blind and crippled for the rest of my life. Again, I cried out to God, and a miracle took place. 14 days later, I left the hospital without any medication, without any operation. And that's the 3 defining moments in my life. I like to call them 3 miracles. The miracle of survival, the miracle of salvation, and the miracle of overcoming sickness.